Hello, I'm Rick Steiner. Welcome to Luxe Life Discovered. My guest today is Bekah Wagner. So, Bekah, thank you for being with us.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me.
Well, I tell you, we met at the bridal fair at the Allison
Yeah,
last month. It seems like it's been a long time
I
ago,
know.
but it's just last month. And you're a songwriter.
Hmm.
So, well, tell me about your songwriting background, and then we'll get to the other part about the songwriting.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I've actually been writing for as long as I can remember. I remember I even have some songs from me like at like 4 years old. Like, did they make sense? No. Like,
Right,
but
but the,
but dang it, I was trying. So for me, I grew up in this area, Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
okay,
A lot of people know that from Fame Studios and all of that. So everybody played. And for me, songwriting became my way of, I'm always saying that music is medicine. So it was my way of healing. So whether I was a teenager going through a breakup, or, even now as an entrepreneur creating a business, songwriting has always just been that, I guess, vehicle for me to get all of my feelings and emotions onto paper. So now that I've started releasing all of my songs, I'm like, it's basically my journal put to music.
okay.
So yeah.
So, do you record any of your songs
So
yourself?
I have before.
Okay,
Now I do not. And it's just because I don't have a studio of my own.
right.
But I 100% write everything, and I now work with different AI technologies to actually bring it to life. So I write the melody and I write the lyrics, but then I use AI to bring it to life.
So how has AI changed everything for you?
Oh my gosh, it is a game changer. Because now, uh, versus spending thousands of dollars to find the musicians and get in a studio and pay for the time, I can just get the point across, using AI.
Right.
Um, because it's really hard to bring songs to life when you don't really. I'm trying to think of my how to even say this, but it's hard to bring songs to life when you're not the best musician. For me, I'm okay. I'm an okay musician. I love to sing is my main thing. I
Okay.
only play instruments so that I can write, but I'm not the best. So for me, I'm not confident to like send that to someone of like, oh, hey, here, take my song seriously, but it not be fully produced. So AI
Right.
has now allowed me to fully produce the songs to get them to demo ready.
Well, and then also to be able to quickly have that tie in with that mood that you're in and
Yeah.
get everything at the same time, I'm sure that's a huge advantage
Oh
now.
my gosh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
good. Do you ever have writer's block? Like, how do you deal with that, or a lot of people talk about the
For
writer's
sure,
block. Yeah.
for
So,
sure. Well, so for me, I'm not trying to write like every single day, and I don't have the goal of, oh, I need to write this many songs a week or
right.
anything like that. So, writer's block, not really, but it's just because I only write when I feel something so heavily that I need to write about it,
Okay.
So if that makes sense.
It does. Do
Yeah.
you ever write anything and you're like, I don't want anybody to know that?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
really?
I have,
Okay.
but typically it's only like a few lines. I always say that like my best songs are ones that I sit down and bust out in an hour.
Yeah.
And if I don't do that, if I ever just write a few lines and then try to come back to it, it just never works. So I've now realized, okay, maybe I can write down some lines to get my feelings out, but that's never going to go anywhere.
Right. Well, and some people work a long time on certain projects, and then
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I think Dolly Parton wrote, "Oh, I Will Always Love You," like it
Yes.
just quickly one night, and
Yes.
I'm here. It's the Lord just selling record for her,
Yeah.
and all the benefit with Whitney Houston and all that. So,
Exactly.
but also you do songwriting for couples for their wedding. So,
Yes.
tell me about that and how that originated.
Yeah, so I that is actually a newer avenue that I am going down as a fun hobby for me. So for me and my husband, we just got married this past June, so June
Okay.
2025, and I had wrote all of the songs for our wedding, including the song that me and my dad danced to.
Oh
And
wow. Okay.
so when I was like looking through trying to find a song for me and my dad, my husband was like, "Well, why don't you just write it?" And I was like, "Actually, I didn't even think of that. Yeah." So I wrote that and it turned out to be extremely beautiful. My dad's a very like, hard soul, like, country rancher, and
Uh-huh.
I had him bawling with it.
Oh,
So
that's good. Yeah.
so with that, I started after our wedding, I started having people ask me, "Well, can you write a song for our wedding?" And I was like, actually, I've never even thought of that
Yeah.
before. So that's now what I'm offering. So because I can do it for any life moment, it doesn't have to just be weddings. I
Right.
actually
Okay.
wrote a song for one of my best friends who passed away in a car accident. I wrote a song for his mom. So it doesn't necessarily have to be wedding. It's for any life moment that means something to you.
Right.
Is now what I do. Yeah.
So I guess you, of course, in that situation, you knew your friend real well.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
like with a couple coming to you for their wedding,
Hmm.
you've got to be able to connect with them in a way
Hmm.
to get their personality and
Yeah,
their desires and what they want. So
absolutely.
that has to be challenging, I would think.
Yeah, so I love talking to people, and I'm very much a mile deep person where I love to just, I want to know everyone's deepest, darkest fears. Like, we can go into that and, and their ambitions and
Yeah.
all the things. So I actually love it because I get to talk to them on a deep level because I do need all of that and I need to
Hmm.
pull those answers out
Right.
of them. And it took me a minute to get it because I was like, man, what was I feeling or what was I thinking and how did I write this song? So it was super actually beneficial for me to even go through that process myself of like, wait, now how did I write this? What was I thinking about? So now I'm able to do that with couples and, how did you meet? What was your feeling? What made you actually fall in love with them? What's an inside joke that you guys have? And so
Yeah.
now I'm able to just sort of dig and just bring the answers out of them. So they're actually writing the song. All
Right.
I'm
You're just
doing is I'm putting it together in a, I guess, lyrical way.
right.
So yeah.
So they have more knowledge going into it than they realize.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's all that person's.
exactly.
And when you do
Yeah.
something like that, they can identify with it, and it means even more.
Mhm.
And it's not just like a pre-recorded
Right.
music they're playing. It's something personal, and
Mhm.
they'll always cherish that. So that's
Exactly.
good.
I've noticed with weddings that everybody wants a unique wedding, but we all dance to Ed Sheeran,
Oh yeah, same thing.
And
Yeah,
exactly.
marching
And
to the
so,
same song. Yeah, come
yeah,
in.
and
Yeah,
so I think it's important to have like that piece when you are dancing with your significant other for the first time, to have something that's meaningful and special to you and not something that everyone else is using. So I find it funny that that's the one thing that we don't change in weddings. We're like, oh, we want to be
right.
unique, but okay, but we're all going to dance the same
Well,
songs.
I've never known anybody. I've been a planner for 18 years. I've
Yeah.
never known anybody that's done this before.
Yeah.
So when I
That's
met you at
amazing.
Dallas, I was
Good.
just like, that makes sense. Why has nobody else done that? Or,
Yeah.
So how has it been received well?
It's been
Yeah,
received really well. Yeah. And because there are programs like AI programs that it can write a song for you, but it's not the best
not the
because
personal touch.
it's not the personal touch. And also I've been a bride, I've been in those shoes, so I know how to put the emotion into it. And sometimes even when they're like, I don't even know how to put it, I'm able to because I'm like, I get it, I get what you're saying, I've been there, I've done that.
Right.
So it makes it that much more special.
Well, good. And then, like you said, you just got married last June, so it's
Yes,
even more fresh on your mind. And yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. So, and then tell me what else because you're a busy young lady. After I met you, and then I knew you did the songwriting for weddings,
Yeah.
and then I did a little research, followed you on Instagram and everything. I'm
Hmm.
like, wow, when do you have time to do that? Because you're into real estate,
Hmm.
but also like the wellness part of it. So that's intrigued me. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so wellness real estate. For a while, people just thought that I was, a hippie tree hugger by saying wellness real estate or
Right.
holistic realtor.
Glad you're
Yeah,
tree. Yeah.
exactly. And I'm like, I mean, I am those things. But also, I'm referring to the $580 billion industry that's projected to be 1.1 trillion by 2029.
Wow.
So, and what
Unreal.
it is people. It's. I'll put it this way: when COVID happened, everyone started tuning into, oh, here's different things that actually go towards our health, whether that be, oh, our food, we need to start paying attention to the labels that we read, or the chemicals that we're using for cleaning or putting on our bodies. So, what I find funny is since we spend 90% of our time indoors, we don't think about the one environment that we're in and living in and spending 90% of our time in. And so whenever I got into all of the holistic just health stuff, because I find it fascinating how our bodies can heal itself when given the right
Hmm.
tools. So I had that piece of it already. And then I started looking more into the built environment itself and how it impacts us. And so now what I've done is I've basically combined two different certifications together. There's well certified, which is homes that support the human's well-being, and that can be through ventilation, natural lighting, connection to nature, encouraging movement. And sites certification, which is dealing with the land, the topography of the land, how to build with the land and not destroy the land. So I sit between those two, and I've combined both of them because I
Wow.
feel that both of them are important. And now people are seeking that out because they are wanting to heal, and we have now realized that when our homes heal, we do too. So I have a philosophy around when we take care of our foundation, our homes, our health, our planet, we unlock the potential for everything else to thrive. And so that's where the wellness real estate lies, and that's where I sit.
So do people, not question you about it, do people,
Hmm.
are they standoffish sometimes? Like,
It depends on
because,
who it is.
yeah,
Yeah, it depends on who it is. Some people are super, and I'm not going to force it on all clients because
right, right.
some clients don't care, and
Yeah.
it's a second home, and they don't care, and all that. But
They want to know where's
I'm
that income potential.
Oh, right, exactly, right. Exactly. And so, but now I have people that seek me out, specifically because of that. So actually, a lot of my clients are coming to me with either autoimmune, asthma, respiratory issues, some type of chemical sensitivity, because they're like, no one else gets it. And so they know that I take them seriously in that. And I try to connect them even with builders that do that. In this area, it's a little hard because there's not many that do. So now to, I guess, answer your question, people are seeking me out more than me having to go up to them and be like, oh, look, you should care about this.
Yeah.
And they're like, why?
So okay, tell me how that works. And so say if a client comes to you, they sought you out, came to you, what's your first step into going to find the property that's right for them?
So I do what a lot of realtors do, which is first of all find out what they really want, and then now looping it back into the songwriting of how I love to go a mile deep with people. I just tend to ask deeper questions as to even like their hobbies and what do they enjoy? Have they noticed something in their own house? Are they not sleeping well? And I start pointing out even like the natural lighting in the home. Hey, actually for your home, at least for builders, you need to be building it to where it's facing the south, not the east or the west. That's the hottest points of the house.
Right.
And so I start pointing little things out like that. And whenever I go into houses, I always take a flashlight. You can look up in the air ducts. I'm not a mold specialist, so I won't say nothing to that. But I can definitely be like, I would advise a mold specialist come in here. And so to answer your question, I just tend to go deeper than a lot of realtors do. I don't just go and find a 3-bedroom, two-bath house and be like, oh, yay, we found it.
Yeah.
I go deeper and start asking a lot of questions, even with the sellers. I'm a developer's worst nightmare because I ask so many questions of things that they didn't even consider.
Right.
So that's, I guess, what makes me different. So the process is very lengthy because of that.
Well, it's working. If people are seeking you out, so that's good. And a lot of things that I haven't thought about, as far as like having someone to take all that into consideration. Because so many times, well, if you don't know that, you just buy a house. And then oftentimes once you're in the house, you realize, there are things you want to change or we should have done differently, that type thing.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a huge investment.
Oh, it is,
So I think it's great to protect that investment, but also protect the human that's living inside of it.
True.
So, yeah.
Well, and then you do workshops as well?
Yeah.
So talk about that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did a little research.
I do a lot of things.
I know you do.
Yeah, so I just now started doing those workshops actually. And it came from every time I was talking to sellers for some of my clients and would start asking them questions about like the materials and like inside the walls, the type of insulation and all these things, and even for the plenum for the HVAC, and is it fiberglass or is it metal? And I started asking all these things, and I'm like, well, why does it matter? And, and I get that. So I was like, oh man, I thought that this was all common knowledge because all of my algorithm, as everybody's algorithm is, it's all tailored to me. So for me, it's all healthy homes, sustainability, future of cities, future of buildings, all this technology and construction. And so I was like, oh, everybody knows this. I realized they do not.
They know.
And so that's what got me to start hosting these events. So now I do the third Wednesday of every month. I do this event called Well Built, Homes, Business, and Mindset. And the first one was me just opening the door to wellness real estate, just to give that perspective of, not trying to scare you with your home and be like, oh, it's making you sick or anything, but like just opening up the idea that maybe we could do things differently. And from there, so each one's sort of building on top of one another. And so this next one I have some an inspector and an insurance agent coming in to even speak more on this as well. So it's not going to be your traditional real estate, here's our pitches for our business. It's more of like, no, here's the way that the market is going. What are we going to do about it? How can we stay ahead of it?
Builders, have they been receptive?
Yeah, they actually have.
Because that's one of those things they could, can make or break you as far as
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, no, and they actually have surprisingly,
good.
and especially in this area because there really aren't any healthy builders. But me hosting that first event, I had a builder that was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I had no idea." And so I love it when people do that because as you know, as a business owner, the worst thing you can do is assume you know everything. So
True.
it was
Yeah.
really cool to have people that have been doing it for years be like, "Oh my gosh, this actually makes sense. Let's do that." So now, even from hosting that event, I now have developers that are coming to me of like, "Hey, I'm building a development and what should I do to make it more sustainable, more focused on wellness?" And that's been a huge compliment. And that's now sort of, I'm going into that realm of consulting now, which I'm super excited about.
Well, good. So what
Yeah.
else do you have going?
Oh
Well,
man.
first of all, do you, as a young lady,
Yeah.
has that been an obstacle?
Oh my gosh.
Because I was going to say they're probably, what does this young girl know about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It was, I guess, 4 years ago now when I really started into just like the wellness real estate and 3D printing technology.
mhm.
So if you've heard any of my podcasts, you'll hear me talk about that a lot. But I was at the time, I was like waltzing into these architect firms and engineering firms, and I was like, "Hi, here's my vision. I don't know how to do it, but you do." But it was really cool because I always am telling people if you go into any situation, always come into it curious. Don't go in there and tell them, "Oh, you're doing this wrong.
Like
You
I
need
know
to
it
be
all.
doing
Yeah.
this. You should be doing it." Don't nobody want to hear that, and they're not going to help you. So I
You
always came
automatically
from
put up a wall.
do what?
You automatically put up a wall when you
Exactly.
do
You
that.
put them
Yeah.
on defense
Yeah.
immediately. So I sort of went in of just like, "Can you tell me why we are doing it this way?" Or, "Hey, have y'all ever heard of 3D printing technology? Have you ever heard of healthy homes? What's your experience with it?" So I came in curious versus, "Oh, hey, you're doing everything wrong and here's the right way, follow me," you know?
Right. Yeah.
So,
And they're
but
like, get
yes,
out. Yeah.
exactly. So for a little bit, they were like, "Okay, little lady." But now they're definitely, again, it's been 4 or 5 years of me
Yeah.
doing this now where they're now finally like, "Oh," and seeing the shift, I was like, it's not a trend. It is a full blown shift in real estate that's happening. And now that they're physically seeing it and even with their numbers, now they're like, "Oh, Becca, so what were you saying like about the
Yeah.
wellness real estate?" So yeah. So now not so much, but to begin with, oh my gosh.
I
Yeah.
can't even imagine. So then you do a podcast.
Yeah. Well, not my own.
Not
I've
your own.
only been on
Okay. All
others.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I didn't know
Yeah.
if you did that now as well.
Oh my
So
gosh, I
what
can't
else?
add another thing.
I know, but you have other things going on too, don't you?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what?
President of the Rotary Club is one of them, of the
Oh
Destin
gosh.
Rotary
Yeah.
Club. I love Rotary. It's just the way of giving back. And
Right.
I love it. It's no politics, no religion. And it's just full
Well, how fun is
service
that?
organization.
No.
I know, right? I love it. So anyway, so I'm our youngest president that we've had in Destin,
Okay.
anyways, but that's been super cool because I'm able to connect with people literally all over the world. And when my husband and I travel, we find the Rotary Club that we can go to
Oh, that's good.
to
Yeah.
find ideas for what we can do in the community to serve better. So I love Rotary. So that's one of the other things I got going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's no spare time then for anything else because you're busy. Yeah.
I am, but I'm huge on making time for myself because I
Good.
feel if I'm not my highest and best, I can't possibly show up for other people. If my cup's not full, I can't fill yours too, you know?
Yeah.
So and my husband and I both, we're very big on saying no to things. If it doesn't fall in certain categories for me, my answer is no, and I don't have to explain because no is a complete sentence.
Right.
So I'm huge on self-care and actually taking it back whenever so that I can show up better when I do show up. So I am big on that. So that's where the songwriting comes in,
Right.
because that's my pastime.
What I'm sitting here thinking is you're telling me all that. President of the Rotary Club, you have your wellness business,
Yeah.
your real estate,
Mm-hmm.
songwriting,
Yeah.
and then your husband just happens to be a busy person also. And I wasn't going to bring this up because I want to keep it all about
Yeah,
you.
no, it's
But
fine.
your husband's the mayor of Destin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with everything that he has going that he needs you at
Mhm.
with him, that's going to be you guys have to sit down, I'm sure, and have like a long meeting and
Mhm.
talk about what all's on the calendar, what you can
Yeah.
do, what you can't do, because there's always people wanting your attention. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate you being here today
Oh
for
my
sure.
gosh, absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
yeah,
But yeah,
so
we do. We definitely have the sit down of and even with him, I'm like, do I need to be, do you need me at
Yeah.
this? And he's really good about either being like, no, you're good, this is nothing crazy,
Oh, that's
or no, actually, I do need you at
Yeah.
this. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
So we're very good about that, of supporting one another. We have our own lives, but we're also big about supporting one another where it matters most.
Well, that's good because you have to.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh,
otherwise
yeah.
you'd be a constant turmoil, and then everything else would falter. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, so the songwriters event, the Songwriters Festival coming up in
Mhm.
Destin this weekend.
Mhm.
Um, have you been part of a Writers Festival before?
So I worked with it last year,
Okay.
but not to the capacity that I really wanted to, and it was because my husband and I went on a honeymoon / work trip. Sounds funny, but we had to do both, which was really great. But we were gone for 3 months, basically, and so I didn't get to participate like I wanted to. We could make connections and try to get sponsorships and all that, but we weren't even able to go. So
Oh,
this year we're going. I was like, I don't care. It's on the calendar. We're going. So I'm
well,
super
good.
excited about it. So no, I haven't been involved in the way that I would like to.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
This will be my first, so I'm
Yeah.
excited about it as well. And then, of course, being at the Alice, that's even
Oh my
better.
gosh,
So yeah,
beautiful
yeah.
space.
And
Oh my
Kristen,
goodness.
I always give Kristen a shout out. She does an amazing job, and
Oh my
the way
gosh.
she brings people together, and really, for her not to be a Destin, from Destin,
Mhm.
she really Destin's her home right now. I mean, she
Oh my gosh,
considers
yeah.
it her home, and she really pulls a lot of things in and really
Mhm.
benefits the area greatly.
She's been
Yeah.
huge in the community, and every time that we've met with her, she's just like, "How can I support? How can I support? Who can I
And she
talk
will
to?"
do it.
And
She'll back it
no,
up. Yes.
exactly, and that's huge, and especially for businesses that are coming into Destin, a lot of them are just like, "Okay, Destin, what can you do for me?"
Yeah.
Versus coming in with, "Okay, how can we support each other? How can we all benefit from this? Because
And
this is a great thing."
well, and that's good, and that's the way it should be.
Mhm.
But like you said, that's not always the case. But something else has really been nice with her is that by doing that and supporting so many things in Destin through their venue and different things, it allows you to see more of what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not just like what's the Alice doing that's benefiting the Alice, and
Mhm.
not just them. There are other businesses and you know groups that do that as well. But it sure opens up your eyes to what's in Destin,
Oh
and
my
there's a
gosh,
ton
yes.
of opportunities in Destin. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been amazed at that the last few months.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's always something going, but I completely agree. She's definitely stepped up the level to
Yeah,
actually bring people together, and I've made some great friends even just connecting through her.
yeah,
I thought we knew everyone in Destin,
right,
and then
yeah.
she comes along and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you need to meet this person. You need to meet this person."
Yeah,
I was like, "We're typically doing that. This is amazing."
we were talking one day when I first met her, and I won't say the celebrity, but she threw out this and didn't do it to bring
No,
attention to
for
herself.
sure.
She's like, "Yeah, I'll talk to them," and I sent her a text, and then she went on with the conversation, and I'm like, "She's just in your phone. You just
Yeah,
sent her a text," and
yeah,
she never thought twice about what she said, and didn't say it to be arrogant or anything, but
no, for
she
sure.
is definitely a supporter for
Oh my
sure.
gosh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, good. So, what's on the agenda? What's the biggest thing coming up? Or
Oh.
can you even share that?
Oh man, in what category?
Well, business wise,
Business wise, for me or for just
for
like
you.
Destin?
No, for you.
Oh man, that's a great question. I've been super excited about the consulting part for wellness real estate and helping developers even before they buy a piece of land, seeing the land from a different lens
And
of
knowing how
not
to
going in
situate. Yeah.
exactly, not going in and clear cutting the land and plopping something on it because we're past that. People are over it. They want to be connected to nature. And so I think that's where I'm so excited about because I now am going to be able to come in at the sites level and be like, here's what you can do with this. Wouldn't it be great if you added this, this, this? Oh, guess what? I have clients that are looking for this, this, this,
Yeah.
so I can back it up with that too.
Yeah. And then
So
help them pre-sell before they even build would be
yeah,
better. Yeah.
exactly, which is fine by me.
Yeah. And I'm sure they don't mind that either.
Exactly, exactly. So I think that that's what I'm most excited about
Yeah.
is because I've done this now for 5 years, just been building my own research and for a while just wasn't taken seriously with it. But now that we're seeing that market shift, I've gotten more respect in that lane, and I'm just super excited to now be with them to build projects that can actually support human and the planet. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, that's good. And just 5 years ago, did you ever think this would all be part of what you're doing?
Oh, Lord, no.
Yeah.
No,
And
no,
I finally
no.
and it's great to see things come to fruition and just
Mhm.
have things surprise you that you're doing.
Yeah.
Because this podcast, I never thought I'd do. I mean, I never thought about it. And that kind of a funny story how that happened, but I'll share that with you later. But
Yeah.
it's just fun to be, you have to be kind of receptive to new opportunities and
Yes.
capitalize on those when they come. And I say capitalize in a good way, like you're
For
doing.
sure.
So, yeah. So, wow.
Say
Well, I'm
yes to
glad to
things.
have you today and learn so much more about you. And I wanted your podcast to be separate from your husband's
Yeah.
as he's coming on next, but that way it's about you and we're not tying it all in together.
Yeah,
So
no, for
because
sure.
you've got so much, I was just amazed.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well,
It's just been 5 years in the fetal position, is what
yeah.
I tell people.
That's about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for
Yeah,
being here. I
absolutely.
appreciate it. And thank you for joining us today for Luxe Life Discovered. We'll see you soon.